Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. It is a brand new week, so we are featuring a brand new team. This one was actually given to me by a fantastic VGC player known as Nicholas Borgi. He also goes by Lightcore VGC on Twitter, so give him a follow. If you don't, I'll link that in the description below. I was using Clefairy last week with Charizard X, and Clefairy also pairs really nicely with Mega Salamence, and Nicholas has piloted this team to 4 Premier Challenge wins over here in the Northeast, and the Premier Challenges here are quite competitive, so it's really impressive that he's been able to win so many. He's edited the team a bit throughout the couple of tournaments, but the core has really stayed the same. It's got some really interesting things like Life Orb Heatran, Focus Sash, Mold Breaker, Excadrill, Assault Vest, Scrafty, and Mega Salamence with Roost and Return over the Double Edge Earthquake set that I featured on Mega Salamence earlier on. So I'm quite excited to try this out, but of course, the team is only half of it. Nicholas is a fantastic player as well, which is why he was able to do so well with it. And I really hope I can do the team justice. So it should be exciting, and I'm pretty excited to revisit Mega Salamence and try out some new things like Life Orb Heatran and Focus Sash, Mold Breaker, Excadrill. So we're going to jump onto the ladder currently with a rating of 1751. As always, if you enjoy Road to Rank, please share your support by leaving a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. I also spent a bit trying to make sure that the audio was in sync with the webcam, and I'm not actually sure if it is, so please let me know if it is. I, tried figuring that out earlier today. G. Gedione from Italy, I just botched that pronunciation for sure, with their rating of 1800 plus is our first opponent of the day, with a team of Zapdos, Amoonguss, Metagross, Milotic, Terrakion, and Hydreigon. So, let's see. For those wondering, the Scrafty set here is Assault Vest. It also runs Snarl, which makes it super interesting, though, you don't really want to be snarling against a Milotic. Though Scrafty here is actually very good in general against my opponent's team. Might want to consider bringing it. The Excadrill here is actually quite solid as well. Now, the only means of speed control I have with the team here is with Clefairy and Thunder Wave, so, it's going to be a bit difficult to try to shut things down in terms of speed, but that's fine. Of course, I'm also running Scarf Thundurus, which can actually be really good here just because I can kind of switch out immediately. The Amoonguss is probably the thing that scares me the most, though, right now. Let's see. I'm leaning towards leading with Thundurus and Heatran here just because Heatran threatens Metagross, the Amoonguss, and the Zapdos in terms of damage output. I do kind of like those two. I'm leaning towards Salamence in the back. Do I want Scrafty here or Excadrill more? Both are really fantastic, honestly. But I think Excadrill might be a bit better just because Earthquake hits Metagross, Terrakion, and Hydreigon. Though, I mean, Scrafty is really solid here too, especially with Knockoff and Drain Punch. And actually looking at it, he doesn't have a great way to deal with it, so maybe I should go with Scrafty instead. Just because, other than Terrakion's maybe close combat, he can't really knock me out in one hit, and even close combat should have knocked me out with Intimidates. With the Assault Vest, I can easily take the special attacks. He can Spore me, sure, but then he can't do very much, and even a Metagross's Iron Hitters, and he can't Zen Headbutt me even. So, I'm going to bring Scrafty here, going to lock in, and we'll see how this plays out. I've tried Scarf Thundurus on, I think, the last 2 teams, both the Rain team and the team we featured on Charizard, with Charizard X, but I haven't been a big fan of it. The main reason why I actually wanted to try it out was because of Nicholas, because he, I saw him using it at events around, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool, but his team, I think, builds around it a lot nicer, so we'll see how this plays out. Gonna lead with Thundurus T and Heatran here, as my opponent goes with Milotic and Metagross, and man, that is like a perfect lead matchup here. Couldn't have really asked for anything better. That was pretty much what I was hoping to see, that's why I decided to go with Thundurus and Heatran, and that's obviously fantastic for me. I'm gonna just go for the Thunderbolt onto Milotic and the Heat Wave immediately. You do notice that I'm running Flash Cannon on this Heatran as opposed to something like Substitute, because this is a Life Orb, just pure offensive Heatran. I think Nicholas's Heatran was actually a bit bulkier, but I'm using my old one, just because I like max special attack and speed. The other Pokemon, though, are all his. A funny story, I was actually recording an episode when I used Mega Salamence's Return, then I realized I literally had 0 attack, or 0 friendship, so at +1, it did like 2 damage to one of my opponent's Pokemon. I was like, oh, that's not good. But I did get the attack raised back now. So, Metagross is going to Mega Evolve immediately here. That's fine if he protects with either of his Pokemon. I mean, I'd expect Double Protect. That's the play that makes the most sense, but he's not going to protect with either. Wow. So it allows me to just get this Thunderbolt off against my Milotic. He goes for the Zen Headbutt, but Heat Wave should knock out both of my opponent's Pokemon here. Let's see. Yeah, Zen Headbutt doesn't knock me out. Heat Wave does fortunately connect with both, and with that Life Orb boost and Modest Nature, I think it'll be enough, as it does just take out Metagross and Milotic. So I led the Heatran here, trying to knock out the Metagross basically immediately. Now getting rid of my Loading here is really great as well, because it means I can switch in the 2 Intimidators I have in the back. So a very, very fast turn 1 there. I'm surprised my opponent decided not to switch or protect there, but really good one for that. So Terrakion's going to come in here. I'm really happy to see that, just because, you know, a physical attacker with 2 Intimidators in the back, that's great. As Amoonguss is the last one. So, you know, still definitely far from over. But things are looking pretty decent, at least, I'd say. I think I'm just going to switch into Scrafty here and go for it, Protect. Might as well just start shuffling these Intimidates, right? Because Terrakion is his only real means of offense. Kind of crazy, though. Despite how good that turn 1 was, it's still really, really far from over. Just because Terrakion and Amoonguss give me a fair amount of trouble. But, you know, that's fine. If I had Clefairy here, things would actually be really good. But I wanted the double Intimidate, and I don't regret the Pokemon choice I made. So I'm just going to get 1 Intimidated here at least. If he doesn't Spore the Scrafty slot, then he's basically done for. Yep, he's just going to go for a Rock Slide. I'm guessing that means he's Spored Heatran. If that really is the case, then it's going to be game. Because I can just go for a Fake Out Heat Wave this next turn. Spore comes out, but he smartly targets the Scrafty slot. So nicely done there. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Because with Thundurus out, I could have just stayed in, and if Rock Slide knocked me out, he could have just... It would have been able to redirect the Spore into Heatran, though. Looking back, I think just getting the Intimidate and attacking would have been a bit better with Heatran. I don't even think he knocks me out at this rate. But I'm going to go for the Fake Out onto Terrakion. I'm wondering if I actually want to switch into the Salamence here. I don't think Close Combat can even knock me out. Though, do I really want to risk it? That's the thing. You know, I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch and the Heat Wave. I don't want to switch into Salamence because he could potentially crit me with the Rock Slide. Should he go for it? And he does go for the Rock Slide, so perfect. I guess I made the right call there then. So as long as he doesn't flinch me here, it's basically a good game. But he does get the flinch. Unfortunate, but you know, my opponent going for what he had to, I don't blame him. And the Spore is going to come off. So that was a bit obnoxious, just because if he didn't get the flinch, it would have been basically game over if I connected with Heat Wave. But it does make this game a bit more interesting, at least. I'll go for the Drain Punch, and I mean, he's probably going to Close Combat, and you know what? That's fine. Yeah, I'll let him knock me out here, so I get a free switch into Salamence. Right now, Salamence is my key to winning the game. He's going to finally go for that Close Combat here. Oh, wow, but targeting Scrafty instead. Oh, was that a crit? Yeah. So RNG has not been kind to me these last 2 turns, but hey, that's alright. But if anything, these are the plays my opponent needs to make to at least get back into this game, as Heatran takes a turn of sleep, which is fine. And he's going to go for the Giga Drain onto Heatran. Given how well I resist that, that's going to be fine. Take that with ease. So I do get a free switch into my Mega Salamence now, and I get the Intimidate off. But the last 2 turns have been really, really unkind to me with that flinch and the crit there. So this makes this match a lot more scarier, at least. But that Terrakion is at -2 now, which is obviously good for me. Let's see. And I can Mega Evolve. Go for the... You know, at -3, I'm just going to go for the Return onto Amoonguss and the... Actually, I'll go for the Flash Cannon onto Terrakion if I wake up. The only bad thing here is if somehow the Amoonguss is bulky enough to survive my return and he gets a Spore off and a Rock Slide, or a Close Combat, I guess. But we'll see. Yep, he's just going to go for the Rock Slide. Oh, wow, he didn't go for the Rage Powder either. Okay, so let's see. Flinches me. Okay, but I wake up with the Terrakion here. Now, if he's Focus Sash, though, it's still not going to be over. And he is sashed. Oh, gosh. So I kind of have been walking into these Rock Slides, which is not good. He's going to get that Spore off, too, against the Salamence. So, wow. My opponent really bringing it back here. No, I don't really know what to say, honestly. I mean, he has to kind of go for the Close Combat onto Heatran here. I'm going to try to Protect. Obviously, that's not going to work. Let's see, if he Rock Slides. Yeah, even if he Rock Slides, that's fine. It's not really doing any damage, so I'm just going to try to burn a turn of sleep here, because I just need to wake up. But I guess I should have... I mean, one reason why I didn't go for the Return onto Terrakion was because he could have Protected and Spored, so I didn't want to do that. Though I guess a better play would have been to return into the Terrakion and try to Heat Wave, but of course I didn't know whether this Heatran would wake up or not. So, you know, just goes to show that with Rock Slide, anything can happen. He actually protects with the Terrakion here. I mean, that's a good play, I guess. At this rate, though, I really think he should just be trying to attack. As yeah, I'm actually the Salamence is quite bulky, so it's not, as you see, as he goes for the Spore onto Heatran. Interesting play. I mean, so he's probably gonna close combat the Heatran slot now. See, I'm gonna go for a return onto Terrakion. And since Heatran can knock one-hit KO the Amoonguss, I'm actually going to switch out. If he goes for a Rock Slide, that would be a really smart play on his end. And that's fine if he does, though of course he has a flinch factor, and that's always a bit annoying. He's going to go for the Rage Powder here. Okay, that's fine. What does he go for with Terrakion? Gonna close combat. Good. So at -2, I wonder if that's even enough to knock it out. Yeah, it is. Okay. But I just... as he crits me there, actually. Wow, 2 crits and 2 flinches. I don't think that one mattered, but I'm not entirely sure. Thundurus isn't exactly the bulkiest Pokemon. Salamence does stay asleep for another turn, though, so... okay. Heatran gonna come back in, and my opponent has basically been able to bring this back, and not having Earthquake right now is really hurting me with the Salamence. If I had Earthquake, it would definitely be game, but Redirection can hurt me a fair amount right now. I'm actually gonna go for the Dragon Dance here, and I'm going to Protect. Just because you see how little Rock Slide is doing to me, so after a Dragon Dance, I outspeed Terrakion, since right now, being the bulkier Mega Salamence, you know, I am slower than him, and that means he gets a chance to flinch me with Rock Slide, so, you know, I still need to kind of wake up here. If he gets like a 3-turn sleep, that would be really bad. Wake up here, or the next turn. Let's see, he's gonna go for a Rage Powder, that's fine. Does he Rock Slide or Close Combat here with Terrakion? Probably Rock Slide if he were going for, yep, good play, good play. But that's fine, you know, I'm playing it as safe as possible right now. I just need Salamence to wake up. And it wakes up. And it flinches! Are you serious? Oh my god. Okay. Well, he's gonna probably close combat Heatran. Okay, he has the Rage Powder here. Let's see. This is it comes down to this turn basically. He has the Rage Powder with Amoonguss, because if he doesn't, Return just knocks him out. So I could Dragon Dance here, but what if he close combat Spores? You know what? I'm gonna go for the Dragon Dance here and Heat Wave. Yeah, perfect. Rage Powder. So that should be game as long as nothing ridiculous happens here. Let's see. Yeah, as he goes for the close combat, that's fine. Knocking Heatran out. Oh my goodness, this is kind of ridiculous. So now at +1, I do outspeed his Terrakion, which is probably the most important thing. And Return is also a knockout onto Amoonguss. I guess with the Rocky Helmet and a Rock Slide crit, I can still lose this. You know, I'm just gonna go for the Return onto Amoonguss here. This is gonna be really close, actually, especially if he's... I mean, if he's Rocky Helmet, even a single target Rock Slide at -2 shouldn't knock out the Salamence. I guess if he protects with Amoonguss and Rock Slides here, he could pull himself back into this. But he's gonna protect with Terrakion, perfect. So that was the prediction I was assuming he was going for. And Return gets off, yeah. Should knock out Amoonguss. Perfect. So a really scary finish to the game. I mean, my opponent, that's the thing though, you make those plays when you're that far behind. He didn't even have Rocky Helmet, so that's perfect. And now you can just go for the Return and pick up the game. And Return's going to connect here. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately that was really close despite how huge of a lead I started the game with, so that was actually very scary, but we're going to be able to pick up a win here for our very first game with the new team. Mega Salaman's doing a really nice job to close it out there. I mean, I feel like I won that one based off leads, but my opponent was able to inch back into the game one step at a time by critting, by flinching, and all that stuff, but that's why Rock Slide, and it's just such a good move, and Terrakion itself is really strong as well. And I was definitely scared, you know. If I had Excadrill, I actually could have made the endgame a bit easier, but ultimately I think I made the right Pokemon choices, so... Just going to jump back into the ladder as we jump up to 1769. So, that was a really fun game to start it off, even though we didn't get to feature, for example, the Scrafty very much, nor the Excadrill or Clefairy. But we're going to find a Japanese opponent with a rating of 1690 for our second opponent of the day. She has a team of Greninja, Kangaskhan, Talonflame, Azumarill, Latios, and Amoonguss. So, you know, right... immediately, like, I see some really frail but strong Pokemon in Talonflame and Greninja. Possible Tailwind in both Talonflame and Latios. It's pretty interesting to see Latios make an appearance here as well. Once again, we do see another Amoonguss here, and I do feel like Salamence can be very, very good in this match, especially with that redirection from Clefairy. So much to the point where I'm actually tempted to just lead with Clefairy and Salamence. I actually really like that, yeah. So I'm gonna lead with Clefairy with Salamence. Let's see. I feel like Scrafty can still be really helpful here. I want Thundurus. I feel like it's great because it can outspeed and get Thunderbolts and knock out things. Kind of tough to really pick the right Pokemon here, though. I mean, Excadrill is nice given that it's sashed, but I don't know. I don't think I really want to bring it here. So for the last one's really between Scrafty and Heatran. I mean, I'm leaning towards Heatran just because it deals well with the Mungus, but other than dealing well with the Mungus, it can't do very much. Especially against 2 water types. So I guess he can somewhat wall Talonflame and Latios as well. I mean, Scrafty here gets the Intimidates off and the Snarls, though, which is very helpful, I would say. But it can get Brave Birded. Definitely a tough call. I'm going to go with... You know what? I think I'm going to go with Heatran. It's just faster, and I feel like Amoonguss is a big enough threat to warrant me bringing it. Yeah. Like, we saw how big it was in that last game and how it could have almost screwed me over in the end there. I mean, it was only, like, the only reason why my opponent was still in the game at the late game was because I couldn't get that KO onto Terrakion, especially with that Focus Sash. But, man, it was a really scary game, at least an end game. So, I'm going to be leading with my Mega Salamence and Clefairy, a very solid lead here, especially with the Intimidate, and I do feel a bit safer leading with Salamence against Kangaskhan, and I believe that's Greninja, yeah. Which is a pretty decent lead matchup here. I mean, I get the Intimidate off, which is obviously very good. But what do I want to do this first turn? Let's see, what do I have in the back? Thundurus and Heatran. I think the best play is just to go for a Protect, Mega Evolve, and Protect as well. And he's going to stay in with both, which is perfect. This way, you know, I mean, by staying in with both, the next turn I can just go for a Dragon Dance and follow me with Clefairy. And that means I'll get a free Dragon Dance off, obviously. Could also actually, for example, go for a Thunder Wave, but I think right now I'm leaning towards the Follow Me / Dragon Dance play. I don't even know if he can knock me out with a double target onto that Clefairy, but we'll see. And the Intimidate really helps out against Kangaskhan, obviously. Oh, but he goes for the Map Block. Interesting. Wasn't anticipating that, but, you know, that's fine. That's not a move you see on Greninja too often, but it does block any attacks, and he does go for the Power-Up Punch, so he does have Power-Up Punch. Good to know that. But fortunately not working against me here. So I'm going to go for the Follow Me here. Do I want to go for the Dragon Dance? Or do I want to just return? I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance, yeah. The thing is, if he wants to Power-Up Punch me, it means I get another turn with Clefairy, otherwise he has to go for a Return / Double Edge. He's going to go straight for the Ice Beam there, so obviously going to be able to redirect that away, which is really good news for me, as that should not do very much. A bit more than I anticipated. Gets the Freeze, which could be unfortunate if he doesn't KO me. And he does go for the Power-Up Punch, so that's really frustrating that he froze me. I'm not happy about that. And given that he did not take Life Orb damage, you'd have to guess that that's Focus Sash Greninja, which means it's kind of problematic for me here. Wow, the Freeze, really? Okay. What do I want to do here? I'm just going to go for the Moonblast onto Greninja and go for Protect here. I'll allow him to KO the Clefairy so I get a free switch in. Unless he goes for another Power-Up Punch, would be really greedy, but I could see that working too. Yep, he's just going to launch Ice Beam into Salamence, and he's going to go for the return to knock out Clefairy. Yeah, so that Freeze basically messed up my course of action, or my plan there. Because I would have been able to redirect an Ice Beam away and get another free attack off with that Salamence, so not very happy about that. And assuming that the Greninja is sashed, that's also really problematic for me. I'm going to bring in Heatran, I guess. Not happy about that, not happy about that. I'm going to go for a Heat Wave. I could actually Roost here, that'd be interesting. Because it means he would not be able to KO me with Ice Beam, but I think I'm just going to return to knock out Kangaskhan. Hopefully it knocks it out, I'm not even sure. Because I always run Double Edge, so this is my first time playing with the return. And it does pick up the knockout. Gets the crit there, so I'm not sure if it mattered, but I'll take it, obviously. Greninja's probably going to go for the Ice Beam to knock out Salamence here, which is not good for me. It should pick up the KO, as it does, yeah. No, I just feel like I had very little answers. I was just relying on Clefairy getting another turn of redirection away. Presumably he has Sash here. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, he does. Let's see if we can get a burn. That'd be really nice. Nope. But I do at least get the Scarf Thundurus in here, but if he anticipates my Scarf and just goes for, I mean, if he brings in a Mungus here. Oh, no, that's a Azumarill. Okay, okay. We still win this. Slightly. Interesting. Okay, now I really have to think these turns through because they're really important. So, given that he has Map Block and Ice Beam, I don't think he has, like, Protect on Greninja. I could just go for a Thunderbolt onto it. Could also just Thunderbolt a Azumarill. I mean, what do you do here if you're my opponent? It also really comes down to what his last Pokemon is. The Heatran deals with them all pretty well. Oh, this is tough. Do I Protect here? With Thunder? You know, I think I'm gonna Thunderbolt Greninja and Flash Cannon the Azumarill. I'm predicting an Azumarill Protect here. That's why. Oh, he doesn't Protect though, darn. So if I crit, I can still win. Or, it depends on who he targets with Azumarill, I guess. I'm guessing he went for the Play Rough actually onto Thundurus, so a miss here could also help me out, but let's see. It does a fair amount, enough that another one can KO. But he's got Citrus Berry, okay. What does he go for? Oh, he goes for the Superpower. Oh, nicely done. That should KO me, yeah. Well, I guess it's going to come down to what his last one is. If it's something like Talonflame, I can win, but otherwise, Amoonguss and Latios both screw me over. I'm guessing yeah, if I Thunderbolt Protected there, it could have worked out. Oh, it's Talonflame! Okay. Wow. We can still win. So I'm going to Thunderbolt here. Who do I Thunderbolt? I'm going to go for Talonflame. I mean, he knows I'm Scarfed. Okay, he goes for the Brave Bird. Oh, this is going to be so close. Because I didn't want to take a Flare. Oh, that does so much damage. Actually, that's probably game. If I targeted a Azumarill there, I would have won, but I didn't know if he was going to go for the Flare Blitz, which... Oh, he goes for the Aqua Jet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes! Wow, I'm going to win, I think. Oh my gosh. Thunderbolt knocks out Talonflame with the crit. That one doesn't matter, obviously. But, holy cow. Okay, let's see. The fact he went for Aqua Jet over Play Rough, I mean, it makes sense, because he was probably anticipating a target into there, but now he has to Aqua Jet, because otherwise I just knock him out. So if he doesn't crit here, I win. Let's see, 52. Oh my gosh, down to 10 HP. Does Thunderbolt pick up the KO? Oh, wow. Wow. What an intense game there. I mean, two pretty fast games for you guys today, but that second one was nuts, man. Scarf Thunder C being able to clutch it out, and unfortunately my opponent had the one Pokemon that would have allowed me to win that match. If it were Amoonguss or Latios, no chance I would have had that one, but despite a early game freeze, they're able to pull through and clutch out a win. So, first day with the new team, picking up 2 wins in a row, which is obviously awesome. I'm very happy about that. Go, check out Nicholas on Twitter. He's an awesome guy. Likeware VGC, fantastic dude and amazing battler. He'll definitely be at Worlds this year as well. So thanks to him once again for allowing me to use his team and for trading it to me actually. And I'm pleased. We start off the week with a 2-0 victory. Thundurus C really putting weight today, and yeah, you guys can see how well it matches with the rest of his team. And Mega Salamence and Clefairy also doing some work in that second game. So if we didn't have that freeze, I think in the first turn of the last game could have helped out. That crit on Kangaskhan also might have mattered depending on how bulky he was, but that's Pokemon for you, as I always say. Anyway, that's it for this episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave a like if you did, and I shall see you tomorrow. Alright, peace. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to check out Clash Tournaments, my sponsor on YouTube and Twitter. They offer some of the best Super Smash Bros. Content out there, and I'm super grateful for them. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch as you see in the boxes below. See you guys soon!